Hey everybody, we are back. I wanted to give my thoughts about the Epstein Files, or the lack of Epstein Files that have been released. As you all know, Trump has come in office and he has promised uh, many things to the American public. Hey everybody, it's everything that the MAGA America wants. He's done quite a few executive orders, and I don't even think he's been in that White House for 100 days yet. I don't think so. Um, in fact, he's just been in the White House on the 21st. I'm sorry, on the 20th of February. That would mark 1 month.
Nice. I think
it was January 20th, the inauguration.
Yeah, it was right.
So February 20th would have been 30 days. So let's just get into it. I wanted to share a few things with you guys that you may not be aware of that Jeffrey Epstein was involved with and why you will never get the truth. And let me just give you a little common sense, okay? Common sense would tell you that they're going to do absolutely nothing about the people who were involved in Jeffrey Epstein, okay? And how you know they will do absolutely nothing is because they haven't. Prior to this list being released with my bunny ears, the flight logs have been public for more than 5 years now. 5 years. I have it sitting in my email more than 3 years ago when I obtained it. So they've had the flight log of every single person that has flown back and forth from Epstein Island, and no one has gone to jail. And most of you that follow me, you pretty much know that I don't even believe that Ghislaine Maxwell ever was in court, ever spent a day in prison. I don't believe any of that stuff. All they've given us is cartoon pictures. She does video calls with blue screens behind her. There was no evidence to show that she was in any real custody or anything like that. I want to take you back in a little bit of time, though, because I want you guys to remember when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. Let me pull it up for you here. Here we go. Okay, so let's see here. Jeffrey Epstein was born January 20th, 1953, and he died August 10th, 2019. I could find out exactly when he was arrested. I believe it was sometime in July, but I want to be sure. Let's see here. Looks like June 28th. Okay, here's a timeline. Let's look at their timeline. Okay, so timeline of Jeffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell. There you are. There's another cartoon picture of Ghislaine Maxwell with her face mask on. Let's see here. From the moment he first faced criminal charges was 2016. Jeffrey Epstein had been the object of public fascination, conspiracy theories, and outrage, especially after his lawyers got prosecutors to agree to to a lenient plea deal that spared him from serious prison time. Epstein was eventually arrested again, but he died by suicide while awaiting his trial in 2019. Here's the timeline with him and his girlfriend. Okay, so let's see here. March 2005, Palm Beach, Florida, beginning investigation. Epstein, after the family of 14-year-old reports she was molested at his mansion. Multiple underage girls, many of them high school students, would later tell the police that Epstein hired them to give sexual massages. 2000, Epstein with multiple counts of unlawful sex with minors. But the county's top prosecutor, state attorney Barry Krischer, takes the unusual step of sending the case to a grand jury. July 2006, Epstein is arrested after a grand jury indicts him on single count of soliciting prostitution. Relatively minor charges draws almost immediate attention for critics, including Palm Beach police leaders, and accuses him of giving Epstein special treatment. The FBI begins an investigation, and this is 2006, okay, that the FBI is fully aware of the practices of Jeffrey Epstein. So this was not a situation where it was this super secret society. This was open to the FBI of what this man was doing with minors back as far as 2005. You know, it goes back further, but let's just go ahead and just timestamp it there. 2007, federal prosecutors prepare an indictment against Epstein, but for a year, the money manager's lawyers engaged in talks of U.S. Attorney in Miami, Alexander Acosta, about a plea bargain that would allow Epstein to avoid federal prosecution. Epstein's lawyer, this is crazy, and his accusers are unreliable witnesses. You hear that? Okay. 2008, Epstein pleads guilty to state charges, one count of soliciting prostitution and one count of soliciting prostitution for someone under the age of 18. He is sentenced to 18 months in jail. The U.S. Attorney's Office agreed not to prosecute Epstein for federal crimes. Epstein serves most of his sentences in work release program that allows him to leave jail the day to go to office and return at night. Okay, so you hear all of this, and you're asking yourself, why? Why is this guy getting such special treatment? And it goes on and on. 2009, he was released from jail, even though he was able to leave, go to work, if you even believe that he even ever went to jail. For the next decade, multiple women who say they are Epstein's victims wage a legal fight to get his federal non-prosecution agreement voided and hold him and others liable for the abuse. One of the Epstein accusers, Virginia Giuffre, says in her lawsuit, stating that she was 17, Epstein and his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, set up a sexual encounter with royal politicians, academians, businessmen, and other rich, powerful men, including Britain's Prince Andrew. Of all those men denied the allegations, okay? So, November 18th, Miami Herald revisits handling Epstein's case in a series of stories focusing partly on the role of Acosta, who by the point in President Donald Trump's labor secretary, do you hear this? Who by this point is President Trump's labor secretary, Acosta. Acosta is the same prosecutor that got them to take away any kind of federal charges to Epstein. So for anybody who thinks that, Trump was just in the dark and all of this stuff, well, one of the state prosecutors became his labor secretary, okay? 2018. In arranging his unusual plea, the coverage renews public interest in the case, okay? So 2019, so let's say I was correct. July 6, 2019, Epstein is arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. After federal prosecutors in New York, I'm sorry, guys, these pop-ups keep popping up, it drives me crazy. Federal prosecutors in New York conclude that they weren't bound by the terms of an earlier non-prosecution deal. Days later, Acosta resigns as labor secretary amid public outrage over his role in the initial investigation. Do you hear all of this conflict of interest, all of this corruption? Do you hear how polluted this is? Okay, this is before he supposedly unalived himself. Okay,
This is in Donald Trump's term.
yeah, this is Donald Trump's term. He was in his office. Okay, August 10th, 2019, guard finds Epstein dead in his cell at federal jail in New York City. Investigators conclude he killed himself. Okay, Now,
the videotapes are broke.
oh yeah, that's right. So let me just give you guys a little backup because they don't have it all dictated here. But the day that the night that Epstein unalived himself, all of the video cameras that were on that tier just somehow just stopped working, and all of the correctional officers decided to take a nap at the same time. So no one saw anything, no one heard anything, because that happens all the time, right? The video footage.
What is your experience with prison?
Oh yeah, and Santana wanted me to enlighten you guys with my personal experience inside of the prisons. Everything is fully monitored. Someone is always watching. Someone is always around. Someone is always monitoring. People that are high profile are heavily, heavily monitored because they are high profile. Epstein would have definitely fallen underneath of that category because of he was a huge finance person for so many people. I mean, you're talking all of your heads of MIT, you're talking your presidents, you're talking all of the elites. You're talking about the biggest of big that run the world that everybody can stand. He was giving them financial guidance the entire time. So I can tell you from personal experience, from working in the prison, this does not just happen. And if some security cameras go out, someone is notified. They have a database to see that cameras are out, and they would go and check on it. But that's not what happened here in New York City. So let's go back. August 10th, 2019 is when Jeffrey Epstein allegedly unalived himself. So what else was happening in 2019, huh? What else was happening in 2019? I think in 2019, everyone who was living right now witnessed something that they had never, ever, ever seen happen before, right? We were introduced to something called COVID-19. Okay, let's see when we had our first case of COVID-19. First case reported. Let's see here. Timeline. Let's see if they even have something accurate. Let's just go to CDC just for shits and giggles, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to have the accurate date because I knew of 2019 in 2019. Okay, we see December 12th, 2019, a cluster of patients in China in the city of Wuhan began to experience symptoms of atypical pneumonia-like illness that does not respond well to standard treatments. Let's see. So they're saying as early as December, but in fact, it actually had cases as early as I believe August that they actually had it. But let's just go along with December. Let's just go along with what the CDC is saying because they consider this the reputable site. Anyone who follows me knows exactly how I feel about the CDC. But like I said, or if I haven't said it already, this is strictly for entertainment purposes. So I'm a crazy person. Don't listen or believe anything that I say. You can just look at everything that I am Googling in front of you in real time and read it yourself and come to your own determination because I am not here giving anyone any medical advice or even saying that I am the media to report this information to you. I am just a concerned citizen, okay? And this is strictly for entertainment purposes only, okay? So we're going to go ahead and say that COVID first hit in December of 2019. So that's only a few months after Jeffrey Epstein, the most prolific sex trafficker that the world has ever seen to come to the forefront. I mean, we know about these things happening, but this is the person who they've actually attached it all to prior to Diddy. Now it's all Diddy. Forget Epstein, right? Anyway, so You see the most prolific sex trafficker in the world who is giving all of the financial guidance to all of your world leaders all over the world get arrested and then all of a sudden unalive himself in 2019. And then we get this virus that just went rampant that they said came from a Wuhan wet market from a bat. Okay, all of these things are simultaneously happening at the same time. That's weird, right? But the thing about it is, everybody just keeps associating Jeffrey Epstein with sex trafficking when he was involved in so much more. So let me just share a little bit with you guys. Jeffrey Epstein was actually trying to create basically like his own species. Okay, let's see here. I'm sorry, I think I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, I did. 1 second, guys. Okay. Um, he was working with all of the best of best researchers, scientists, neurosurgeons, uh, um, astrological scientists. I mean, you name it, biology, everyone that you can think of. Okay. This article says, what kind of researchers did sex offender Jeffrey Epstein like to fund? Okay. He told Science before he died, uh, said that like Rebels and Red Fire Air 2017 interview. Okay. You see him rocking his Harvard hoodie. And he was also working at, I'll find out exactly what college it was because I can't think of it off the top of my head, but he had been professing at a very, very prestige institution for years with fake credentials. And guess what? They actually found out that his credentials were fake and continued to let him work there. Why is this guy getting all of this leeway? I mean, why? So I started to look into it. So we start getting into just seeing a bunch of emails and different things from Jeffrey Epstein in regards to his science and the people that he liked to work with. And I'm going to get money. I understand. 1 second. I'm trying to get to the part when they talk about the scientists that he loves to work with. Bear with me, guys. I may have skipped it. Sorry. It's a lot of information that I was trying to throw together for you guys. Why would Science talk shadowy financer and convicted sex offender? Eventually, we decided I should accept the invitation on the chance that Epstein would say something newsworthy. On September 8th, 2017, I reached him at his mansion in New York City, fashionably Upper East Side. According to the federal prosecutors, that is also where Epstein engaged in all of his ridiculous things that he was doing to these poor women. He began an 80-minute interview to ask him about writing a story. He has lots of detractors, so many faces now. 2 years, more complete Epstein allegations. The Grace Financer hanged himself. Okay, where is? Sorry, guys, I got the wrong article. Hold on 1 second, guys. Well, let me just jump into it, okay? I have all the scientists listed down, but it must not be in order. So this is one of his top scientists that he would finance. His name is Marvin Minsky, and he is actually labeled as the father of artificial intelligence, okay? He died at the age of 88. Let's see here, 2014, Minsky was awarded the BBVA Foundation Frontiers of Knowledge Prize, Information and Communication Technology. He was huge in MIT. He like they call him the father of artificial intelligence. So I just kind of guys want to fast forward you to where we are now. Doesn't it appear that everything that our government is doing to run our government right now is all AI, all artificial intelligence? Like I said, this is one of Jeffrey Epstein's best buddies, best scientists to finance. Okay. Let me pull up what else we have here. So we have another scientist, and his name is Murray Gell-Mann. Okay, he's an American physicist. Okay, theoretical physicist. He supported him as well in all of his workings, and I believe he's still okay. So he just died May 24th, 2019, right before Jeffrey Epstein got arrested in July. That's when this scientist that Jeffrey Epstein was funding, that's when he died. Okay, let's go to the next one. Who do we have here? We have Stephen Hawking, physicist and cosmologist. He also died, he died 1 year prior to 2019, oddly enough. But Jeffrey Epstein was also financing Stephen Hawking as well. Like, how is this guy getting all of this money? I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm going to tell you how it all leads up. And I'm going to actually pull up how he was getting all of this money, so you can see who is the mogul that was financing Jeffrey Epstein, but not just him, but he was a huge cash cow for him over here. This guy here, Lex Wexner. Les Wexner is probably one of the richest people here in America. Let me see here. Why is this not sharing? Should be. Okay, here we go. He owned L Brand, and L Brand has so many huge brands under the belt. They have, here we go, Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret. Here we go. September 8th, 1937, is an American billionaire businessman, the co-founder and chairman of Bath and Body Works, formerly Limited Brands. Let's see here. I want to read off all of his companies that fall under that. Like I said, Victoria's Secret, L Brand. Everybody pretty much knows what L Brand is. Lane Bryant, Abercrombie and Finch, Lerner, New York. All of these huge brands this guy has under his foundation. Okay. For some reason, Lex Wexner signed Jeffrey Epstein as his power of attorney. Now, you ask yourself, why? Why would this already billionaire, why would he sign over everything over to him? Well, we now know that all of these Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie and Finch and all of these different huge name brands, we now know that the modeling agencies that were doing the campaigns and everything like that, that was a way that they were able to obtain these young girls, manipulate them, and then basically just hold them captive to be sex slaves. That's basically what happened. So that is how he was. These are the kind of people's accounts that he was handling. Let's see, power of attorney. Victoria's Secret's billionaire Lex Wexner gave near total control of his finances to Jeffrey Epstein, according to a stunning new account of their controversial friendship. Let's see here. Wexner gave Epstein power of attorney in 1991. 1991 is when he had power of attorney over Lex Wexner's companies. Just think about that. And Florida, they had it backdated to 2005 when they actually started to like try to press charges against this creep. But as you can see, he's been going at this for a very, very long time, since at least 1991. This would have made him able to hire people, sign checks, buy and sell properties, and borrow money on Wexner's behalf. The times that Wexner did not cut ties with Epstein until 2007. Now remember, 2006 is when he got hit up for the first sexual misconduct charges with minors. Lex Wexner supposedly cut ties with him in 2007, the year before Epstein pleaded guilty to prostitution charges. The plea deal was focused. The plea deal was focused of a November expose by Miami Herald that ultimately led to Epstein being arrested in July on federal charges of sex trafficking conspiracy, where he pled not guilty, of course. Friends and colleagues were mystified that Wexner had handed such a sweeping control of his affairs to Epstein, who at the time he was made power of attorney, was working as Wexner's personal financial advisor. Let's see here. So from 1991 to 2007, Epstein took control of possession of valuable assets previously owned by Wexner and his companies. These included New York mansions, a luxury Ohio property, and a private jet. According to the Times, there are no publicly filed documents showing these purchases. And I recently just learned that the Epstein Island was actually owned by Les Wexner, and Les Wexner sold it to Jeffrey Epstein for $1. Yeah, you heard me. $1. Because that's how they do their dirty dealing. Okay. He was given control over designing Wexner's personal yacht. Well before Wexner cut ties with him, Epstein was accused of posing as a Victoria's Secret talent scout. A California model named Alicia Arden told the Times in 1997, Epstein assaulted her with luring her back to a Santa Monica hotel room. Okay. Maria Farmer, in an affidavit in April, accused Epstein of sexually assaulting her in Wexner's Ohio mansion in 1996. Two former executive Victoria's Secret told the Times that they were concerned by Epstein's apparent attempts to introduce himself into the modeling auditioning processes and informed Wexner he said he would take care of it. Epstein served what? Is this a coincidence? A whopping 13 months in jail, 2008 to 2009. Now, those of you that follow Santana and I, we've been tracking these numbers 13 and 62. They marked him in 2008 with the 13 months jail time, which at the time he actually was still able supposedly to leave the jail, come out, and then go back, so he could do his work because he was responsible for so many people's large accounts. Representatives of Wexner and L Brand's Victoria's Secret parent company, which is owned by Wexner, declined to provide time details of work Epstein performed for Wexner. Oh, isn't that strange? While Mr. Epstein served as Mr. Wexner's personal money manager for a period that ended 12 years, we did not believe he was ever employed by nor served as an authorized representative of the company. So now they're trying to backpedal and act like, oh, well, he wasn't really on the books. Kind of like the university that he was, like I said, he was teaching at, and they found out that all of his credentials were completely made up and fake. Yeah. And they continued to let him teach there after they knew he had lied about everything. Yeah. He kept his job. Let's see here. L Brands did not immediately respond to the request from Business Insiders for further comments. Epstein's attorney, Martin Weinberg, did not respond to requests. And Wexner declined to comment to Times on its report as well. So as you can see, they just try to lie about everything, but it was all coming out because this reset was going to happen. What we all experienced when all of the world governments shut the world down, this was a pivotal part in it with Epstein. When they decided that they were going to take Epstein down, that was the foundation of how all of this disgustingness has been run. Okay. This guy was hands on to all of it. And I want to be clear too. When I'm talking about these things, Epstein was just a character. He was just the person who they were going to stick all of this stuff to. Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Mossad, um, CIA. He was his whole thing was he was the honeypot trap guy. That is what his deal was. He signed up for this. He knew it. Same reason why I don't believe that he's dead. He knows way too much. So let's go back to the scientists because I found that this was very, very, very intriguing. mRNA technology is something that we all are kind of like just learning about with the whole new COVID vaccine, this new technology that was supposed to, get us out of the trenches of, dealing with pandemics and everything. It saved us. Trump did warp speed, and this was just revolutionary type of science that was going to save the face of humanity. Well, you find out that one of these doctors that Jeffrey Epstein was working with, his name is George Church. Well, he talks about all of the donations that Jeffrey Epstein gave him. And he has a laboratory in Harvard. And he happened to also be dealing with genetics, molecular engineering, chemist, entrepreneur, personal genomics, synthetic biology. Synthetic biology. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like mRNA? Because it's the manipulation of synthetic genes to basically suppress the virus when it comes in. It's like pushing a button and making your body think that it's already there, but without actually putting the virus in you. Yeah. So that is what they were into. But where is this one particular document that I wanted to share with you guys? Okay, here we go. This guy, Stephen Gold. Now, please remember this name, okay? This is about mediated mRNA delivery for SARS-CoV-2 vaccination, okay? Now, this is basically showing you the introduction of them putting the multiplex mRNA vaccine that derives expression of immunogenic SARS-CoV-2 nucleoplastids and what? Spike proteins. Okay. I'm trying to find the date on this document. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to find the date. Where's the date? Where's the date? Nope. I'm trying to. Okay, so this document was actually posted on March 8th, 2021. So, like I said, I was searching all of Epstein's scientists that he was financing throughout the years. Okay, now Stephen J. Gold is the one that we're going to be looking at. Okay, but like I said, I want you guys to look because I realized I wasn't sharing the screen. I apologize. But as you can see, it talks about, furthermore, we applied this approach to develop an exosome-based multiplex mRNA vaccine that derives expression of immunogenic SARS-CoV-2 nucleoplastid and spike protein. The vaccine to fight against COVID-19 and other infections. Okay, now this is where it gets weird because This science, oh yeah, and you can look at all of these other sciences, and as you can see, Stephen J. Gould research while affiliated with Johns Hopkins University and other places. So this guy was a big deal. He was one of the top scientists, and as you can see, um, application and learning algorithm to identify serological predictors of COVID-19 and severity and outcomes. Okay, this is all said this to 2024, but I'm going to show you how this is much further back than 2024 because where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Stephen J. Gould died May 20th, 2022. I'm sorry, 2002. 2002, he died, which means that his research was all the way far back then, not 2019 when everybody was so surprised about COVID-19 happening.
You're telling me that this was done in 2002. How could that be possible if COVID-19 took place in 2019?
Well, I'm telling you that it happened even before 2002 because this is just when he died. Let me show you. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't share the screen. I apologize. You can see it for yourself. Stephen J. Gould. Remember, I told you to look at that name. He died May 20th, 2002. This has been planned for a very long time, what they had going on with us, what they had all of us involved in. They shut the whole world down. They shut the whole world down. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm a crazy person. Don't listen to anything that I'm saying. Don't listen to the fact that I'm showing you that one of the scientists that Jeffrey Epstein was funding, this evolutionary biologist, paleontologist, Stephen J. Gould, died in 2022, and they used his work in 2021 for exactly what we just popped up and dealt with that we had never known about. Like we didn't even know anything about a COVID-19. We didn't know about the spike protein. We didn't know about any of these things. This guy's work from before 2002 was used, and he was financed by Jeffrey Epstein. This is a little frustrating for me just because, I'm having to watch all of these people get so up in arms about um, about everything that's going on with these Epstein files not being released. And I'm just trying to say, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And wait a minute. The one thing that I clipped on here is not here, guys. Hold on, because you got to see this. You got to see this one thing that for whatever reason, can you hand me my phone, please? 1 second, guys. Let me do a brief hold because I sent something that I really, really wanted you guys to see. And this will also further prove my point in regards to this science that was done before 2002, before Mr. Stephen Gould passed away. Where are you? Where are you? Hold on. George. So it's George Church. One second, guys. I don't know why this did not pop up, but I'm going to send it to myself now. So just hold on, guys. Oh, I got to send that individually. So sorry. I don't even understand why this document, and this one particular document that I just found, I had been looking for it for a while, and it keeps for some reason not attaching to anything. I think that's pretty strange. But here we are. No, that's not it. Hold on one second, guys. I am so sorry because I had all of this stuff together and somehow it's gone. One second. I can let me share something with you while I'm looking for this because you have to see this. You have to see this. And clearly they don't want you to see it because I definitely put it on here. I definitely put it on here and it's not there. So let me see. Stephen Hawkins. Yeah, that's not. Mm-mm. Let me put this in here. That's not it. Church. This is really weird, guys. Hold on for give me a brief second so I can regroup. Hold on, okay?
So Ariel was pulling up a document. She had a document that's not where it was, so she's pulling up a document. But for people who are paying attention and just if you're just looking at the the scene of events that's been taking place since 2019, I don't know if anybody is noticing the pattern, but we just had a very extreme Democratic Party in charge, allowed to make decisions. In the process, it destroyed our economy and put the world in a very bad place. But particularly in America, we have a big situation, and a lot of Americans are struggling. Inflation, loss of jobs, and not to mention just the regular events that are taking place with the natural disasters. But I think that people are missing that what we're seeing now is the opposite of 2019. And what I mean by the opposite is they had 2019 under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, a Democratic situation, a Democratic organization running everything to destroy the economy and tear the country down. But people aren't realizing it's the exact same thing, except they simply switched it over to a Republican team this time, and they're doing the exact same thing. They're continuing the job of what the Democrats started. It's the same plan. They're continuing the job. They're working together. It's the exact same thing. The same thing COVID was doing. This is a continuation and an extension. An extension of what COVID was doing. It's the exact same play. It's just being done by the Republicans this time. Here's Ariel.
Okay, guys. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is George M. Church, and he happens to be another one of Jeffrey Epstein's scientists that he financed. I want you guys, when this thing pulls up, I want you guys to look at the very top header of this page, okay? Eventually, it's going to show you guys. I hope that you guys can see it now. Let me see. You should be seeing it soon. But this is George M. Church Laboratory, mRNA abundance data. The purpose of this page is to share the mRNA abundance data that our labs have generated. And I want you to please take special note to what year this is. This page was last modified October 3rd, 1998. 1998. Okay? So mRNA technology is nothing new. It is nothing new. You know, the way that it was advertised, so everybody could want to get on board for warp speed because we were all terrified for our lives. And, you know, we wanted an answer, you know, and they had to hurry up and do this thing. Yeah. At present, this site contains only data collected in the context of recent articles finding DNA regulatory motifs within unaligned non-coding sequence clusters by whole genome mRNA quantitations. Roth, FR, Hughes, JD, what is that? E-Step, PE, and GM Church, Nature Finding DNA, Nature Biotechnology, 1998. Please cite this work when making reference to the data set. We measured mRNA abundance for 4 cultures using FE matrix DNA microarrays. One of these cultures was used as a baseline to which the other 3 cultures were compared. The baseline culture was a matting type A strain grown on glucose at 30 degrees Celsius. The second culture was a matting type A strain grown, I need some glasses, sweetie, at a galactose at 30 degrees Celsius. The third culture was a matting type alpha strain grown on glucose at 30 degrees Celsius. The fourth culture was a matting type A strain grown on glucose at 30 degrees Celsius before a 39-degree heat shock. Details can be found in aforementioned article. An Excel spreadsheet containing this data can be found here. Let's see if it actually pulls it up, guys. Let's see. I'm trying to pull it up. My computer's moving slow. I'm sorry. Yeah, everything's moving slow, but I have so many tabs open too. But I can't open it up, guys, for whatever reason. But if any of you guys want any of this information, please just email me and I will send it to you so you can look at it for yourself. Because like I said, I am very, very crazy and don't listen to anything that I'm saying. And the world's governments definitely didn't come together and prepare to end everything that we knew of as regular life. That definitely did not happen. Jeffrey Epstein definitely was not coordinating all of the science to back up the reason for us to do a vaccine warp speed for mRNA spike protein for COVID SARS 2. That definitely did not happen. And Jeffrey Epstein had nothing to do with that. He was just a pervert. So I want to make sure that I say that because I don't want anyone to think anything differently, especially because I'm telling you and I'm a crazy person and this is just for entertainment purposes. My whole point is showing you this stuff, guys, is because it doesn't matter if you get the Epstein list or not. You're never going to get the truth. A liar is never going to tell you the truth. All of them were involved in this. All of them. were involved in this. Oh, the Excel spreadsheet actually just pulled up, guys, but it is so small. It is so small. You guys can't see it, but you can definitely pull it up on your own time. Let me read some of you guys' comments. All of the CEOs of corporations bailed on the companies all at once. That's right, 1,650 CEOs stepped down in 2000 and what? 19? Let's pull it up. I'm glad you brought that up, Alaskan Avatar. Oh, it is alkaline. I'm sorry. You know what I mean, Avatar. Let's see here. Here we go. Let me share this. 2019 had the most CEO departures on record, with more than 1,600 stepping down in 2019.
And BlackRock owns all of them.
And BlackRock owns all of them. And Jeffrey Epstein, the guy who's financing all of these scientists as far back as 1991, he's been financing all of the biggest scientists, even down to a Stephen Hawkins and George Church, who is responsible for, his lab is responsible for the mRNA data, and Stephen Golds, whose science was responsible for the mRNA technology involving spike protein for COVID SARS-2, and he died in 2002. But yet, Jeffrey Epstein was financing him, and in 2019, we get a disease that Jeffrey Epstein was financing for a vaccine, and the year that he dies, that crazy virus actually gets released into the public. And then all of a sudden, they make a vaccine, mRNA for spike protein for COVID SARS-2. Like I said, I'm a crazy person. Don't listen to anything that I'm saying. But if you would like any of this information, please email me or put in the comments, or try to put in the comments that you want this information. But it's all public information. I don't have like a special crystal ball. I've been following this for a very, very long time. I familiarized myself with who Jeffrey Epstein was, and I couldn't turn away once I saw all of the things that he was involved in. So my whole point to say this is, guys, you're never going to get the truth about Jeffrey Epstein. They did absolutely nothing with all of the people who we know are on those flight logs, who are on the list, who are associations. One of them happens to be the president right now, and another one was the president for us before. Let me share this with you guys. Check this out. And all of this is public information too, by the way. Like years ago, public information. So this isn't like some new information that just came out. This is all public. It's been public, okay? Let me share this with you guys. Oh, here. So this is the photo app that they set up yesterday to get everyone super excited to believe that they were going to get the Epstein Files because, you know, Trump promised them all of these things, right? But they hand selected these conservative, independent journalists who would be the ones privy to this documentation, okay? And here are these clowns right here.
A Prime Minister, of course, Keir Starmer, arriving there. I'm not sure what they are holding up, so they're going to zoom in on that, and let's see what it says. Okay, so there's DC Drano right there on the screen, holding up various. I mean, it'd be great if you could walk a little closer. UK Prime Minister, of course, Keir Starmer, arriving there. I'm not sure what they are holding up, so they're going to zoom in on that, and let's see what it says.
They're so excited because
Okay.
they're going to tell you guys the truth, because these are FBI records that were sealed, which means that the FBI had them. Like the FBI had all of the records when Jeffrey Epstein was being arrested in 2006 and Hunter Biden. You know, though that same FBI had all of these records, and now the FBI is going to do something because now you know. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. The FBI, all of the people that have the authority to press charges on these criminals against humanity, have not arrested, have not pressed charges on anyone. Lex Wexner is still alive. He's not dead. He's old as hell, but he's still alive. He's still alive. I want y'all to hear this video real fast, because sometimes it's better for y'all to hear from somebody else other than a crazy person like myself or my husband. So let me play this for you. Let me close out some of my windows, guys, because I have so many windows open. Wanted to show you, lovely people, that you need to not focus your energy on something that doesn't even matter, because it doesn't matter. The damage is done. The damage is done. They're not going to do anything. And how you know they're not going to do anything is because they haven't done anything. Okay. Maybe this will make my computer run a little better once I close out some of these windows, guys. All right. Let's go here. Let's try to pull me up. Why can't I pull my account up? What's going on here? Why isn't anything working? Okay, let me go home. Sorry. I'm used to using my phone with X. Okay. Okay, listen to this, guys. Listen to this.
Part 2 of the Epstein Files dropped from the DOJ tonight. I just went through the flight log. So there's 7 different documents the DOJ posted, totaling around 118 pages. Right off the bat, whoever wrote these flight logs needs to work on their handwriting, because it's extremely difficult to read, and whoever scanned them needs to be fired because they did a terrible job as well. Regardless, let's get into the people of note that I found. There were 2 different flights for President Bill Clinton. He took trips with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. One of the times he went to Morocco and then to Portugal, and then they flew back to New York. This was all in 2002, by the way, which is about a year after he finished up his presidency. Fast forward to 1994, President Trump, who was obviously not president at the time, flew with, I thought it looked like it was potentially with his kids, because I could see the name Tiffany, and then it also said Danny. So I can't confirm that, but also looks like a Mark Middleton guy was there. He's the lawyer who also served as the special counsel and assistant to President Bill Clinton in the White House during the 1990s. He actually allegedly killed himself in 2023. And on that trip, they flew from Palm Beach to DCA, and from DCA to airport in New Jersey. Another person of note that seemed to be on quite a few Epstein flights was Naomi Campbell, Miss Georgia, and a runner-up for Miss USA. Her name was Erin Nance. She was on plenty of flights, and actually one of the flights that she was on was with Trump as well. Lawrence Summers, he was a former Harvard president. He was on plenty of flights. It also looked like, from my research, he had a close relationship with Epstein. And then there was plenty of names who were redacted. I'm really interested to know who these redacted names were, because if they're putting people like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump on these lists, who is actually getting a chance to have their name redacted? That's what I want to know. Next up, I'm going through Epstein's contact book. The addresses were redacted, but the names are still there. Follow my page for an update.
So please tell me, guys, why would anyone's name be redacted? Why would anybody's name be redacted? I mean, you just heard 2 presidents, our current president, Donald Trump, and our former president, Bill Clinton. So if the presidents aren't being redacted, who's being redacted? Who's being redacted, and why are they being redacted? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions, and I just want you guys to stay focused. Don't fall for any of this garbage. It's not real. All of this is a buildup for the impenetrable doom that is actually coming. And I hate to even say it. I hate to even say it because I'm not trying to be a fear monger or anything like that. But something really humongous is getting ready to happen that's going to affect everybody on this planet. And it's not global warming either. That's their way of trying to mask what's actually happening. Santana and I have done quite a few videos about what's going on with the sun. Um, we're still doing some research on it. In fact, we're supposed to be getting a show together with Santos sooner or later about the sun. But all of this is just to entertain you. None of this is real. The Epstein Files, none of this stuff is real. They're just trying to buy time. They're just trying to buy time. And they're just going to keep doing this stupid slow drip of information that everybody already knew. Everyone already knew. You know what I got? I have some advice. If you want to know about what was going on with Epstein, why don't you just listen to the survivors? Because there's quite a few still alive. There's quite a few still alive. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. I know one is named Julie. I spoke to her. Oh, here she is. Juliet Bryant. This is an Epstein survivor. She goes on all different platforms, sharing her story, saying how no one's helping her. No one has brought her on the stage. Jaguar Wright got some kind of award for being brave, but none of the, oddly enough, none of these Epstein survivors got any of those awards, even though they've been very public on many platforms trying to make people aware of what's going on. But you see, she only has 2,700 followers. 2,700 followers. And she's telling everybody what's going on with her. So if you want to know what's going on, if you want to know what happened, if you want to know how you could get involved, contact these people. That's what you do. Don't wait for anything from the FBI, who already had the information, who has done absolutely nothing with it, and is making you think that something's going to happen now because you know. The same ones that lied about Hunter Biden, the same ones who lied about JFK, the same ones who lied about MLK, the same ones who lied about Malcolm X, the same people. We don't need a file that's been redacted. We don't need any of these sealed files sent to us. We already know that the FBI and the CIA killed our president. We know that the FBI and the CIA killed Martin Luther King. We know the FBI and CIA killed Malcolm X. We know the FBI and CIA killed Fred Hampton. We know that they did all of these things. Who has been put in jail? Who's been put in jail? No one. No one has been sent to jail. So my whole point is, this is a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse. It's just to keep you entertained. It's stalling to make you think you're getting closer to some truth. But these people have lied to you from the beginning, and they're not going to start telling you the truth now. And they're not going to tell on themselves. Do you think that if Trump had the opportunity to do the right thing, he would tell on himself? Is that what you think would happen? No. And you see that none of the MAGA people are talking about indicting Trump. Oh, that's right. But didn't they just pass a law where no president could be have charges filed against him or something like that? I think they just did something like that right before he could go into office, because his name is all over this stuff. It's all over the Epstein stuff.
He's been accused of rape.
But I don't hear any MAGA people livid about that and saying, how dare you?
And one more thing. Pull up, show them what Trump did with the police.
Oh, yeah, I have that in my timeline, too.
This is scary. This is the scariest thing I've seen in months. Pay attention to this move because it is a big one.
Here we go. Listen to this, guys.
Administration doing this. The Trump administration is shutting down a national database documenting police misconduct. Do keep in mind, this database was actually proposed by Trump in 2020, and it was actually created by the Biden administration in 2023. It's literally a resource that policing reform advocates, right, held as essential to prevent officers with misconduct records from being able to move undetected between agencies. All 90 executive agencies, by the way, with law enforcement officers, were required to report misconduct incidents related to their 150,000, by the way, federal police nationwide. People, in its first annual report published last December, by the way, the Bureau of Justice Statistics through the INLEE database identified 4,790 misconduct incidents, myself being one of those, by the way, between 2018 to 2023. And among those, nearly 1,500 federal officers were either suspended, fired, or even resigned while under investigation for serious misconduct. And more than 3 officers were convicted of crimes. Now, this is the federal police database, not necessarily every single police agency in the U.S., yes, but do we not think that every state is going to follow suit?
Why would you do that? Why would Trump do that? Anybody got an answer? I have a hypothesis, if you'd like to hear it. My hypothesis is that they're going to start deputizing these very officers that had terrible misconduct reports against them, to where as though they even lost their job. And you're going to have a whole bunch of crazy psychopaths who can't get in trouble.
It's bad because they have immunity now.
Yeah, because now they have immunity. So these are the things that you need to be paying attention to, not the Epstein Files. Not the Epstein Files, guys. So that is what I have for right now. I wanted to share those few things with you guys.
I'm gonna be doing mine again because my sound is terrible.
Let's see here. Santana is going to come back because the sound was they made his voice sound like almost like a chipmunk when we played his video back. So he'll come back and fill in any holes that were glitched in the video prior to this. But yeah, guys, pay attention. Keep your eyes open.
The last thing. While we're fighting over here, let them know that free energy has already begun.
Oh yeah, and any of you guys who are following us, we've shown you Maxwell Chicken Batsu. Free energy is already here, and Elon's technology. It's not even Elon's technology either. God, I even hate even saying that, but the technology that Elon is getting the credit for, it's crap compared to what South Africa has. Please look into it, guys. Please look at Zimbabwe, Maxwell Chicken Batsu. Please look at that. I don't want to get dinged for playing someone's video. So please look at that. I'll pull it up so you guys can at least see it.
Put it in bug and Berserk.
1 second.
Put it in Berserk.
Show this to you guys. So that's Maxwell right there, guys. This is as early as 3 weeks ago. He just did a video. So as you can see, investigating the truth behind the free energy car. And it's not just cars. He has this mechanism for anything that runs electricity. So it's free. It's already here. Homes, buildings, cars. It's already here. Helicopters, planes. If it's not already done, it's coming. So
While we're fighting over
we're
scraps.
fighting over scraps. Oh, and this is the other thing. The other thing, Santana, he's about to do another video. He's probably going to go more into this, but this is how I want to end this video. Because I want to keep this wrapped up in what happened to us with COVID. Okay. COVID shut down the whole world. Small businesses were crushed. Only the big businesses stayed in business. The same people who were sending rockets up in the sky during the entire pandemic, the same people who were sending astronauts to the ISS, the most sanitized, supposedly the most sanitized place on the planet, and you send astronauts from Earth to go up there who are dealing with a pandemic of a virus that we've never ever seen or heard or spread the way that it did. Okay? All of those same people stayed in business. Everyone else lost everything. And not just things, they lost their family, they lost their friends, and it didn't even have to be death. It was death of relationships because of the divide that this thing caused. Okay? And it affected the entire world simultaneously. So when I hear people screaming about the economy, the low jobs, no employment, and no work, and no money, and all of these crimes and all of these things happening, and they say that it was the immigrants after COVID happened, it's the most disgusting thing somebody can say, because you witnessed what they did you witnessed what happened during COVID. You saw it. You lived through it. And for you to go along with the idea and try to blame everything that's happening wrong in America on immigrants, you are a morbid individual, and you're probably the same person who thinks it's okay to kill babies that live in Palestine because Israel is the chosen people. Because you're a morbid person to think that there are any circumstances where it's okay to slaughter babies. I have some very close friends of mine who are from Palestine and Iraq, and we have decimated both of those places, America and Israel.
Don't forget about the Sudan.
And the Sudan. We've decimated these places. These places do not look the same anymore. And I talk to my friends who are from there, who have had to leave from there because of what we did. And let's not forget, full-fledged lie. I mean, full out lie. Both times. Both times. I did a video. I think it was a video I did with Santos. And I show you guys that in 2014, Israel had a Hamas leader. They shipped him off to Malaysia to send him to do paragliding building, how to build paraglides and how to train how to use paraglides. And what do you know? What was the device that they used when they came over over on the Gaza Strip and attacked Israel? What was it? Paraglides, wasn't it?
Who paid for it?
Israel.
So they paid. So you're telling me that Israel financed Hamas on a paragliding training?
Yes, they did in 2014. Oh, I got one even better. Israel financed Hamas, period.
They created Hamas.
They created Hamas. So you guys that think that it's okay to pervert and manipulate the Bible to make it okay to murder, there is a special place in hell for you. For you. And you didn't have to pull any trigger. You could have just said, this is right. This is okay. That's all it takes, because that is pulling the trigger. when you agree to a lie. When you say that we did the right thing when we went to Iraq and Afghanistan because we needed to get the weapons of mass destruction after you found out that there were absolutely no weapons of mass destruction, there is a special place in hell for you because those bombs landed on people's lives. They ended people's lives. I know that we just saw it happening on the television, but I know the people who were there that it actually was happening to. And they are my friends, and I love them, and I can never replace what was taken from them by my government. So every time I have a conversation with them, I'm ending up apologizing to them almost every conversation. I didn't support the war. I was completely against it. I never, ever supported the war. And this is before I even knew everything that I understand about 9/11. But even then, I knew that this was wrong because I knew that the bombs that they were dropping were not on the people who supposedly did something to us. So if you have an ounce of humanity left in you and you feel any kind of guilt about thinking in the mindset that I just said, repent, ask for forgiveness, ask for forgiveness. And if you meet a Palestinian, if you meet someone from Iraq, if you meet someone from Afghanistan, tell them you're sorry. Tell them you are sorry. Tell them that it's not okay. It's not okay. Do you understand that Syria just released all of the prisoners that they had captive during the war that's been going on for about what, 7 years now?
No, more than 10.
I'm sorry, more than 10 years.
War just ended a month ago.
The war just ended. I just watched a documentary watching the Syrians come out of prison for the first time, and Trump just bombed Syria again.
Trump and Israel.
Yeah, same culprits. Trump and Israel.
The war was over.
The war was over, and they just
a new war.
bombed them, I believe, last week.
And no news outlets talking.
No news outlets talking about it. Hold on.
War.
Let me see if I can find this, and then I am going to really go, guys. So Santana can come back. 2 days ago. 2 days ago, let me share this so you guys can see it for yourself.
Keep in mind, this war was going on for more than 10 years. And the Syrians were coming back to Syria.
Syria condemns unprovoked Israel attacks near Damascus.
So,
do you see this? So look at it for yourself. Israeli military bombs Syrian military base. Netanyahu bombed Syria hours after al-Shara asked for Israel forces to withdraw. It's all you but you have to look for it because it's not in the headlines. It's not on Twitter. It's not on Twitter. You know, Twitter where, you know, we are the media now. You know, where your Alex Jones, you know, where your Laura Loomers, your Stu Peters, all of these people who just blew up out of, well, Alex Jones was already Alex Jones before all of this stuff. But all of these other people that I'm naming, they just blew up during the COVID because they're the ones with the facts. They're the ones telling you what's going on. Well, they're not telling you about what's going on in Syria right now. And Trump did that. So, guys, don't believe these lies. Like I said, these liars are not going to start telling you the truth now. Okay? That's not going to happen. I'm going to go through a couple of these chats before I leave you guys. Let's see here. I'll go to the top. Avatar, what's up? T Wriggles. Okay, and you know, shout out to everybody that's here. Please share this information it's really important that you guys understand that this was not something that just popped up and just happened in 2019. You guys really need to understand that this thing goes back very, very far back. And 9/11 is completely connected to it because Jeffrey Epstein was connected to 9/11 too. That's a whole nother video because we have to
was
do
Diddy. It was Diddy. Diddy did all that.
right, Diddy.
Diddy did
Yeah,
9/11.
everybody's forgotten about Epstein. It's just all it's Diddy. You got Diddy. But I'm going to do another video on 9/11 because we have shown you guys that we found the artwork from Jean-Michel Basquiat back in the 80s. I can't remember exactly what date it was, but he painted the assassination of bin Laden. And it was a lot of information that we uncovered during that process. But all of the same players were involved in where we are in the world right now. And it's bringing us into this AI intelligence world that's going to be running the world. And where AI can be very helpful and beneficial in many, many ways. I am not against technology. My husband is an innovator, he creates technology. So, technology is not a bad thing. It's just that the worst people are feeding it, the worst people are running it. So they're going to do the most worst things that you can imagine because they need to have control. And in order to have control, they need to have you in fear. So please share this. It was a lot of information in regards to COVID. And like I said, this is just for entertainment purposes. I am completely just a crazy person that just jumps to conclusions and thinks that coincidences aren't real, but coincidences are totally real. Warp speed was a great thing. The COVID vaccine was very safe and effective. What else are we supposed to say? I think that's it. I think that's all the things that I'm supposed to say, so my video doesn't get taken down. So
if you have any questions, they can try to send her a comment.
Yeah, you can put comments in. Like I said, if you want any of the documents that I pulled up today, you can just email me or try to put a comment in on the video. Please share the video. You guys feel free also to chop up videos if you want to make short TikToks or something like that. I do not care about this information. We put this stuff out for you guys for free. We do not get paid for any of this stuff. So please feel free to share this in any way possible because we need transparency. We need people who are paying attention. We need people who are looking. We need people who care because we live in a society now where it seems like no one cares about anything other than their own self-preservation. And that's not how the world works. So with that said, you guys, I am out. Thank you for listening. And Santana will be back in a little while. Check you later. Can you dig?